Hi, and welcome to Module 10, Day 11. You will need a notebook, pen or pencil, and worksheets that your teacher has provided. The quote for this module is, "We are not just rather like animals, we are animals. Our difference from other species may be striking, but comparisons with them have always been, and must be, crucial to our view of ourselves." Mary Midgley. Are you ready for some new learning? I am. Let's get started. The agenda for today is goals and overview, vocabulary, reading Winter Bees and Other Poems of the Cold, and sharing out our new understandings. The essential question for this module is, what can we learn about ourselves by observing and interacting with animals? Today's learning mindset is noticing. I look closely. Here are the vocabulary goals for today. To identify real-life connections between words and their use, to use newly acquired vocabulary expressively, and to answer questions and discuss meanings to develop vocabulary. Let's take a closer look at our critical vocabulary. Our first word is migrate. If you migrate, you move from one area to live in another. Number 2, aquatic. A plant or animal that is aquatic lives in or around water. Number 3, formation. Formations are how things are arranged. Number 4, random. If something is random, it happens without a reason or pattern. Number 5, scale. If you scaled something, you climbed over it. Pause the video to take a closer look at our examples. Let's continue with our critical vocabulary. Number 6, resume. If you resume something, you start again after a break or pause. Number 7, grasp. If you grasp something, you hold it very firmly. And number 8, resistant. If someone is resistant, they fight against something or someone. Pause the video to take a closer look at our examples. Let's do some independent practice. Answer the following questions in your notebook. What do people take with them when they migrate from one country to another? What type of aquatic environment have you visited? When a scientist is studying the formation of crystals, what is she looking at? Describe a random decision you made. How did it turn out? What is the highest object that you scaled? Describe how you did it. Are you ever resistant to doing your homework? Why? What project have you started and then abandoned? Describe your plans to resume the project. And our last question, what do you grasp tightly in your hands? Why? Pause the video to complete this assignment inside of your notebook. Now it's time for more independent work. With our new critical vocabulary words, complete steps 3 and 4 for all the vocabulary words. Step 3, use the new vocabulary word in a sentence. And step 4, brainstorm other words that come to mind when you hear each new vocabulary word. Pause the video in order to complete this task. Now it's time to share out our new sentences and our words that come to mind. Pause the video in order to share out with a new partner or with a family member at home. Time for a brain break. You did awesome! Pause the video to get a drink of water and stretch your legs. Here are the reading goals for today. To create mental images to deepen understanding, to use reading strategies throughout the reading process to monitor comprehension, to read poetry fluently, and to use newly acquired vocabulary to describe mental images inspired by a text. Here is some important instructional vocabulary you need to know for today's lesson. Visualize. When a reader creates or pictures images in his or her mind in order to understand a text. And mental image, a picture you make in your mind. Pause the video in order to take a closer look at our visualized poster. Let's do a deeper dive into our new text, Winter Bees and Other Poems of the Cold. Multi-genre texts blend two or more genres, such as poetry and informational text, into a single piece of writing. Authors of multi-genre texts use creative and fact-based writing to share information or ideas or to convey feeling. A text that includes both poetry and informational text might present an artistic description of a subject and also provide related science or social studies content. Authors of multi-genre texts use sensory and concrete language to give readers a more complete understanding of a topic. Let's take a closer look at Winter Bees and Other Poems of the Cold. Think about the title and genre of this text. What do you know about animal behavior in winter? What do you want to learn? Pause the video to write down some of your ideas. As we read Winter Bees and Other Poems of the Cold, you want to pay attention to the signpost again and again and think about why might the author bring this up again and again inside of the text. Let's do some independent work. Reread pages 344 to 345. What facts and details about tundra swans in the informational text help you understand the poem? Review snowflake wakes on page 348. What words and phrases make a snowflake seem human? What effect does this comparison create? And the last question, how are garter snakes and honeybees alike during winter, and how are they different? Pause the video to answer these questions inside of your notebook. Now it's time to share out our new learning. With a new partner or with a family member at home, share out your answers to this independent work. Pause the video in order to complete this task. You've done a great job so far. Let's wrap up this learning. Let's reflect on our learning by sharing how we used our understanding of visualization during our independent work time. Pause the video in order to jot down some ideas. Thank you for learning with me today. If you liked learning together, here are some videos where we can continue that learning. Have a great day and see you next time.